Greetings everyone. Thank you for watching. This is Michael W. Ford, and today I'm going to explain the use of altar cloths, what they're used for, intents and purposes, and some of the basics of this type of ritual magic decoration or item. To begin with, altar cloths, in the concept of the practice of magic, commonly have been used to decorate an altar. I'm talking about modern, the past 40, 50 years, maybe even beyond that. Altar cloths were used to decorate and adorn an altar, or directly above it on a wall if the size requirements are suitable. And generally the design on an altar cloth, now I'll be completely honest, and I don't mind bragging about this because it's true, before 2007 with the Luciferian Apotheca, you could find very, very few pre-designed available altar cloths. Generally, you would find ones that have common Wiccan themes, pagan themes, and those would be very limited. So you would find a pentagram or something along those lines, the goddess symbol. But beyond that, unless you found through underground satanic outlets like ones who worked with the Church of Satan, you would see the Sigil of Baphomet. That was for many years, ever since Anton LaVey, the common left-hand path or Satanist, even Luciferian before or after that, Satanist altar cloth, the symbol. And many who practice Luciferian magic or satanic magic, left-hand path in general, if they're identified with the symbol and the meaning of the symbol of Baphomet, the inverted pentagram with the Leviathan and the goat within the center, or Infernal Union, the older original version with Samael and Lilith written in it, used in Luciferianism, then for many, like traditional Satanists, ones well-versed in the structure, the basic structure Anton LaVey presented, that would be it for you. You might not ever want to take that down, change that symbol of Baphomet, because it was always the center and your reminder, your enforcement, your focus point of your satanic magic. Well, in my Luciferian practice, in developing and establishing the modern Luciferian tradition, I practiced many, many different types of schools of thought or initiatory orders and teachings, from chaos magic, satanic magic of all different types, Germanic, Norse, runic sorcery, so many different ones, Hermeticism, ancient Egyptian, Greco-Roman, Hebraic, Qliphoth, all kinds that fueled and allowed me to understand the commonalities, the connection points, the parallels that manifested the adversary in all different cultures, from Judeo-Christian to ancient pagan. The adversary is either a benefactor, creator, sustainer, in the form of the New Testament Satan, which is the Greco-Roman Zeus, to the Luciferian or adversarial Judeo-Christian Samael, Mastema, Satan, the traditional or the more classical, the medieval Lucifer, who is identified as Satan, the adversary, the fallen angels. And in the obscure nightside witchcraft which became Luciferian witchcraft, tradition that I was instructed upon briefly, and then I explored myself for years through study and application and adaptation. The Watchers revealed to be the most cohesive and powerful representation of the aims of Luciferian magic. Very similar to Aleister Crowley's Thelema, and that is attaining the true will and self-transformation using the adversary in a balanced way. That's the god and goddess, and those are equal. Samael, Lilith, those two united are the adversary. There's no gender that is above the other. Those opposites are complements to each other. And within initiatory magic, the symbol of infernal union, which is Leviathan, the Ouroboros, as the circle, the bringing forth, representing the circumference of the black magician, the body of extent, the area in which your body stands, the point of radiation of your physical, biophysical energy, the alchemy of the adversary as Samael and Lilith joined together upon Leviathan begets the beast, Baphomet, in some witchcraft traditions, Cain. That is the model, or the beast is the model of the Luciferian in a very multi-leveled way, but in a very basic way. So in Luciferianism, I was drawn to many different traditions, different whole pantheons, and I found the Luciferian spirit that rejects, the one that rejects monotheistic religion or the teachings of Judeo-Christianity or monotheism in general, the kind of rejecting the world and rejecting self-defense and rejecting the ability to conquer, relying on something beyond yourself that you can't experience or validate. I found all of the enemies of that to be collectively the Luciferian spirit. And so I worked with different deific masks, gods, goddesses, and demons to awaken and direct specific energies within myself and beyond myself. But I was always the center of that. So I would work with different pantheons and deific masks depending on what I was doing, and I would switch them out to avoid burnout as my interests waned, as adaptation was needed towards my next step. But I would always circle back and work with many again in different seasons and based on what I wanted to do at the time. So the Luciferian Apotheca, when we had the availability in 2007, and then years later when we had the ability to go full color and 24 by 24 altar cloths, I was able to design and co-design a wide selection of left-hand path specific altar cloths, which include all different types, like Norse, like Greco-Roman, various satanic ones, the ones that you would only dream about, like I would dream about when I began my initiatory journey, because I could find any of these things. So I was determined, as opportunity manifested, to create them. So why an altar cloth? Why would you use one? So as I mentioned previously, a focus point. Your altar is your focus point. It represents the temple, which is a mirror of yourself. Now, you may wish to use a certain type of altar cloth for a specific series of workings, or one working, or a seasonal thing, or a type of spell you're doing. Well, the different ones represent a specific type of energy and spiritual connection that you are focusing and building and directing out, and also identifying yourself as becoming like, especially if you're theistic or polytheistic, like those spiritual forces that guide and inspire us around nature and beyond, in the abyss, in the anti-cosmic, in the darkness, depending on what your thing is. So for me, as someone who is heavily into image and symbol and art, utilized with magic and music, I'm a very visual person when it comes to applying magic. You know, I can do it in the imagination, but if I have opportunity and ease of use, I have altar cloths for many different types, and you can adapt accordingly. I'm going to show you a few different ones, and the types that can be applied in this wonderful modern age that we have. I don't miss the old days of, say, the 90s or the early 2000s, when things were very limited left-hand path-wise. You couldn't find a lot of things, and if you could, they were probably mega expensive, or you had to have them custom made, which was highly expensive. And for me, as a early 20-something, early professional, poor, emerging Luciferian, my true will becoming known to me, I had to hand make a lot of things, and I'm not an illustrator or an artist in that way, so it was very hard for me. But I found a way to do statues, clay, work with clay, create things out of nature, animal remains I found, reptile skins, etc. But now it's much easier. We have all these things at our fingertips for our use, for this. And for the serious practitioner, there are so many different types that you could obtain for focus workings, and to remind you of your determination and the mirroring the meaning of that energy and calling it forth. So here we go, a few different ones. Check them out. Now, as you can see with this circle, which I started developing and utilizing for my old invocations in sabbatic nightside witchcraft inspired by Zoskia cultists, etc., utilizing the Watchers as the foundation in Luciferian witchcraft and initiatory magic. But in my development of this, the foundation is always the encircling of and focus of specific types of energy. And as you can see with this, published in Fallen Angels, but this is actually a tapestry, which can be used as a wall hanging or an actual circle, something to meditate on. It has the names of the Decadarchs, or the leaders of the 200 Watchers around, and the name always announces the intent and the specific type of energy. So in Luciferian magic, utilizing this, you, within the center in the triangle of evocation, which spells Azazel in Hebrew, and the Leviathan Ouroboros, this represents the divine, the foundation of mind, body, and spirit, invoking that specific type of energy for specific types of knowledge, insight, and power that can be unlocked and directed accordingly. And this is pure within the Luciferian tradition. I have it on this table to show you. You can also use the center to charge, invoke, concentrate talismans, pendants, jewelry, etc., items or objects, to act as a conduit or focus point of specific types of energy related to the Watchers or the fallen angels in general. But yeah, this is one that I had in production and is still in production for the Luciferian Apotheca as a kind of paramount of serious left-hand path magical practice. So here we have the Infernal Union Sigil, utilized in Luciferianism in my works, but this was the source coming back from the 1800s with Stanislav's, this French-Italian occultist prior to the Golden Dawn. This symbol was adapted by the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey, and used for many years. As I mentioned before, this altar cloth is 24 by 24 and a very pragmatic, simple sigil to utilize, reflecting the great work of apotheosis, initiation, Luciferian magic itself. This altar cloth is 24 by 24, of course, as all of them are, and this is a very simple design of Hecate or Hecate, representing the goddess of the underworld, magic, witchcraft, necromancy, and all things dark moon. This is based on the drawing from the Roman period design and the Greco-Roman and Egyptian Roman gem designs of the triform manifestation of Hecate. Something you couldn't find in the dark sense before the Apotheca, really. And yeah, it's a very simple one. This altar cloth is 24 by 24, of course, as all of them are. And this is a very simple design of Hecate or Hecate, representing the goddess of the underworld, magic, witchcraft, necromancy, and all things dark moon. This is based on the drawing from the Roman period design and the Greco-Roman and Egyptian Roman gem designs of the triform manifestation of Hecate. Something you couldn't find in the dark sense before the Apotheca, really. And yeah, it's a very simple one. For the serious practitioner of Yatukdano, or as found in Deva Yasna, or demon worship, in my book Drauga. This is Persian witchcraft, sorcery from the adversary within Zoroastrianism. This is Ahriman, a sigil found in Drauga. And it's Ahriman, Lord of the World, an altar cloth that comes in two colors, but this one, I love the sigil. It was created by my specific instructions by Kitty Salamosi with Dragon of the Voodoo Flames, and has been continually energized, focused as a talismanic gateway to Ahriman, or Anguro Manush, the Persian anti-cosmic abyssic adversary and patron of all things antinomian and satanic in a primal Eastern sense.